So why am I comparing these two different platforms? As one is a handheld console and the other is VR immersion. I know a lot of people make videos on the Switch versus Steam Deck or other handhelds because it makes sense. And this one makes sense as well because it can do emulation just like the Steam Deck and other handhelds, which is one of the major comparisons that people make. So let's get straight into the comparison, starting with price, then portability, durability, usability, multiplayer, and games. As of right now, the prices on both these devices is $349.99 and $349.99 for the Switch Oled version, which is what we are comparing today. With them being both the same price, we're going to be moving straight to portability. Starting with the Nintendo Switch, it is very easily compact, put away into your backpack. Putting it in your pocket, I want to recommend it. Look at this, look at this. Bro, you can't put it in your pocket. Do I recommend it? No. Why? Because these Joy-Cons. And the screen. I want to do that because of the screen as well. However, getting to my point is that this console is very sleek and portable. You can use it anywhere and take it anywhere with you. You can use this on the airplane, and do you know what you can't use on an airplane? A pistol! Well, I mean, you could, but everybody in the plane would not like that. They'd be like, "That, like, what are you doing?" It's just like if you're putting this thing on your head on a plane. Everybody be like, what are you doing, you know? But I mean, you could just slip it on your head, put it in seat mode, and play it while sitting down. I don't know about swinging your arms. Maybe you can like watch TV shows or movies through it. It's just, everybody's looking at you. So you can use both on an airplane, both on a road trip, both at a friend's house. You can bring it anywhere you want basically. So as far as portability, the Switch is actually going to win for how sleek it is, how slim it is, how much easier it is to carry, and how much better it is to use it. The Oculus wireless just isn't nearly as good as it being wired to a computer, and you're missing out on a lot of different things. Moving on to durability, starting with the VR. One night I put on my VR headset and I started to play some Pavlov VR, when all of a sudden I cracked my controller. I thought that was the end of it. Like, there's no way. I gotta buy new controllers now. Man, this sucks. The thing is, it still works. I've dropped this, I've hit it on things. I've done so much damage to these, and they just keep working. The Switch has major durability problems. A lot of people get problems with the Joy-Cons themselves sliding into the tablet. Everybody knows how bad these controllers can be with stick drift. It happens to everybody. It is very common for these to just start having very, very bad inputs with movements. You drop one of those controllers, they're almost done for within a couple drops. The VR headset has this huge casing around it. I haven't dropped this one, but my other headset, I've dropped it numerous of times. I'm a lot better at my tech now, but back when I got my first VR headset, the black one, which is a Rift S, I've dropped it multiple times, hit the controllers on a bunch of things, dropped a bunch of times, and everything just kept working. So with that, durability, hands down, it's going to VR. Next up is usability, and this one is a very easy win to the Switch. With the Switch, you can just pick up and play it. You can play with 4 people on the TV by putting it into your dock. Then you can take it out of the dock and play it in free mode on the go with 4 people, as long as you have the extra 2 controllers. Everything is set up so simple and so easy and user friendly. The home screen layout is literally just your games and some settings and some other things at the bottom. But then we go to the VR, which it has a lot of setting up to do. Right when you put it on, you have to adjust everything for your eyes. You have to adjust everything for your surroundings around you. And with that, you have to have enough playroom if you really want to play these bigger VR title games. And if you really want to get into it with emulation and doing other types of bigger gaming with it, you want to have a PC connected to it for the most optimal output of your VR device. There's just a lot with VR that isn't user-friendly at all. The menus are pretty nice, but they are not user-friendly. You're gonna be digging for some options in there. And that is one of the biggest downsides of VR, is the setup, the space it takes up. With that, the Switch is a clear winner. So now let's talk about multiplayer. This one is a very clear and obvious winner because with the Switch, they have online play and you can play with other people, but there is no party chat. You are stuck in the past. You cannot talk to people. You can't message people. It's very quiet for a multiplayer game. Imagine playing Mario Kart 8 and actually being able to talk to the other people driving with you. I think that'd be hilarious if they could do it. Or just having a simple party chat so you can play games like It Takes Two, where you need two people to play it, and well, you can play the game together, but you can't communicate at all. What, you're gonna open up your phone, talk to your phone, talk to them on the phone while you're playing? It just doesn't make no sense. It's just not very optimal. They do have a lot of cool things though with the old games, like the N64 game, Game Boy games they just added to the Switch as part of the online service. I think that's awesome. And games like Mario Maker 2, where you can download unlimited amounts of maps that people have created, but you have to pay for the service. You have to pay for online on Switch. It's like the biggest L when you can't even talk to people in party chat. However, on the VR, oh my god, multiplayer is where this device shines. I had the most funniest, best moments in gaming on my VR headset just because of the pure communication you have with other people playing games. You can hop on Pablo VR and do Trouble in Terrorist Town, mowing people down and trying to tell people that you're innocent and like you didn't do nothing bad, but in reality you're a terrorist. It's pretty funny. It has a lot of great game modes. There's even VR chat where you can just chill out and talk to people and play mini games and all that. And it's all free on the VR. You don't have to pay no online service or ads of this video. So we are all tied up with the Quest 2 versus the Switch. All that we're left with is games. Yeah, you can throw in specs as well, but I think they're both pretty similar for playing both platforms. I think the VR can look really amazing and very immersive when you're playing it, especially when you're tethered to the PC, but it on itself is not nearly as good. Switch is really good as well, especially with that OLED screen. The Quest 2 technically is more powerful than the Switch, believe it or not, because to me, I thought they were pretty much the same, but the Switch and Nintendo themselves are really good at making games look great on their consoles, the different platforms. That's why specs, I'm not really talking about that. Let's go to games. With that, you can play so many great games on the Switch. You got Zeldas, you got Marios, you got Pokemons, you got the whole shebang. You got a ton of JRPGs, a bunch of different types of classic games as well. And this is when the big division is being made because they're such different platforms. They have so many similarities, which I've shown in this video. The games and how you play them differentiate both of them the most. Because on VR, you do have a ton of puzzle games and shooting games, games where you just go around and talk to people and have fun and multiplayer, which obviously can't do that on the Switch. But the Switch has such classic, great games. The production value of the Switch games does seem to be far superior than the production value of the VR games. But the VR has like unlimited worlds you can explore. And especially if you're plugged into a computer, you can do way much more with it. I know a lot of people in the comments are be arguing about how the VR, oh, you have to have a $1,000 PC or whatnot to play it. I totally understand that, and obviously if you're gonna compare apples to apples of just the headset and controllers on its own and a Switch and its controllers on its own, then I would say the Switch hands down wins. But in this video, it's all tied up. You're probably wondering, who wins then? The Switch or the VR? I would say if you don't have a gaming PC, you can't tether the Quest to the PC, then I think I'd be leaning more towards the Switch. I think the Switch overall is the winner in this competition. But if you have a computer and you love multiplayer and interacting with people, having a great time on different types of games, and actually feeling super immersed in all these expansive worlds that you can join, then the VR is definitely the right one for you in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this is an odd comparison, but I felt like it needed to be made. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.